Hi class, Mr. Stumple here with your video assignment for Rube Goldberg machines. As always, you can find this presentation, this video, and my demonstration videos all linked up to Canvas. So let's jump right into it. What is a Rube Goldberg machine? Rube Goldberg machine is a complex chain reaction machine designed to perform a simple task. And say, for instance, you wanted to do something like staple something with this stapler, or click this pen, or turn on a light switch, something like that. And you devised a way to do that that covered 10 or 15 different things, or 5 or 10 different things, different energy transfers to get you around to actually perform that simple task. Kind of a useless waste of energy, but they're kind of fun to put together and a lot of fun to watch. They were started, at least in this country, by a man named Reuben Garrett Lucius Goldberg, whose name eventually became synonymous with this kind of machine. And he was a cartoonist in the 1900s, famous for drawing these kinds of machines, like the one you see here in the presentation, for his cartoons, for his comic strip. And so he kind of became famous for doing that. So let's talk about examples of Rube Goldberg machines. There are a lot of examples out there. If you want to just Google Rube Goldberg machines, you'll find tons of examples out there on the internet. There's a couple in particular I'd like you to watch. The first one is this OK Go video, which is a music group, and they've got a really complex, really cool looking Rube Goldberg machine with some music behind it. And then, of course, there's the one that I did last weekend, which is not nearly as complex. I did build one in my kitchen with my daughter's help, and we did, in fact, get it to work. So if you would take a look at those, that'd be awesome. So I don't think the videos will run. Nope, the videos won't run while I'm recording my own video. But if you download this presentation from Canvas, you'll be able to see those videos. So let's talk about your assignment. For IED, your IED assignment is going to be to design your machine. And you should sketch at least 5 different energy transfers. So I sketched them in my notebook. Energy transfers could be anything like dominoes falling over, or books falling over, something like that. See some of the energy sketches that I've got here. Things rolling down tubes, things rolling down inclined planes. Think about the simple machines that we used before, where things are turned, or gears are turned, or things rolling down, or things being pulled by strings. Think about all the forces that we've been looking at and how you might design an energy transfer. That's what I want you to have in your notebook. And then, of course, once you're actually done building the Rube Goldberg machine, then make a diagram of the whole thing. Right? That's what you see down there. That's a diagram of the whole thing. That doesn't have to be super accurate. I just kind of want to see how everything fits together. Again, keep in mind your energy transfers. What is how are the forces actually working? How are they transferring the energy, and what it looks like? So designing it and putting it into your IED notebook is your first step. And then your POE assignment is going to be to build and document your machine. So you're actually going to build this thing somewhere in your house, build and test your machine, document your test runs. That means how many times did you have to try it. That means if I tested one specific piece of it a couple times, then document that. And I did that a bunch of times. I couldn't figure out how to get the dominoes all to work exactly the way I wanted to, so I build a little test run with just dominoes and decks of cards to get that to work out right. So I want you to go ahead and do that and document those, and then document what worked and what didn't work. I had a lot of things that didn't work, and if you had a good look at my notebook, you would see that a lot of these things that I thought about initially didn't even make it into my machine. And that's because once I tried them out, they just didn't work. And then some specific items that I'd like you to document is how many energy transfers do you have? So when you transfer energy from something to something else, so if I have my dominoes knocking down and they push a golf ball, that's one energy transfer. And then how many times did you have to try it before you had a fully successful run? See if you can beat my time. I had 17 energy transfers, and it took me 18 tries of a full run to get them all right, which is quite a bit, I think. So hopefully you can do better than I do. All right, let's see what's next. Oh, one more thing. I would like you to have between 5 and 10 energy transfers. If you want to go higher than 10, that's great. But do at least 5 because then you'll get a real feel for it. Um, I wouldn't say go more than 10 because when you go more than 10, I tried to make it really complex and I ended up with 17, and that's a lot to deal with. So I don't want you to have such a big project and to be as frustrated as I was on Saturday. So between 5 and 10 would be probably a good place to be. So how do you build it? Step one, generate ideas. That's what we've been talking about. Document everything in your notebook. Figure out what kind of things you want your machine to do. What do you want your machine to do? So I decided that mine should turn on my coffee pot. You can turn on the coffee pot, turn on a light switch, maybe open a jar, maybe lift something, maybe drop something, maybe hit the stapler. Whatever it is that you decide you want to do, it should be some very simple task that you can have this complex machine to actually do. And how will your machine work? So your machine is going to involve energy transfer. So you can look in this little diagram here. If you've not watched my video yet, watch the video of the whole thing working. But you push the dominoes here. The dominoes hit the deck of cards. The deck of cards fall over. They hit the coffee can. The coffee can hits this pencil, drops the golf ball. It goes down here behind this folder, drops this folder, which makes this water bottle that you can barely see here go down a zip line. So that's a bunch of energy transfers, right? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 energy transfers right there. So if you can manage to do that, then you're good. So think about how your machine will work, design and practice the single energy transfers, and then practice them together. All right, generate ideas is the first step. Second step, just get started. So pick one that you're really excited about. For me, it was this zip line that I had between the cabinet and this table down here. So I put this zip line in place. I put the water bottle on it. I knew I wanted to have that zip line, and then I started to build things around it. Right, so get one that you really like, that you're really happy with, that you know will work consistently. That's another piece. That zip line worked every time. So if you can get something that works every time, then start building pieces on one side of it, start building pieces on the other side of it until you have some pieces in place. Start with the easy one and then build around it. Let's get back here. What will your machine do? How will your machine work? We talked about that. Design and practice your single energy transfers. Document everything in your notebook. And then add some ideas. Then add energy transfers around that first one that you decided on. Right. So I had a dominoes on one side, I had a little toy car on the other side, and eventually I got around to adding a flamingo and a bunch of other things that I thought made it pretty cool. Okay, this prezi is weird. It's going through all this stuff. Sorry about that, but I'm not going to record it again, so we'll have to deal with it. All right, how do I turn it in? In IED, I want you to turn in pictures of your notebook, or you can log into one of my conference calls and show me your notebook, at least 5 energy transfers, and the full diagram of the final machine. For POE, I want you to turn in pictures or video of your final machine. If you can do a video of the whole thing in action and upload it to Canvas or show it to me when we get on a conference call, that'd be the best. And you can look here again at my video. And then what if it doesn't work? It was very frustrating. As you'll see in my video, I worked on it about 5 hours, but I had a lot of energy transfers. I had 17 energy transfers, and it took me 18 tries to get it right. And you might get to a point where yours just doesn't work. If it's just not working, take a couple energy transfers out and try it again. Do what you think will work. If you just can't get it to work and you're like pulling your hair out and your parents are going crazy because you commandeered the kitchen or whatever, don't worry about it. Disassemble it. Tell me why you think it didn't work, right? Get some pictures, get some videos. Tell me what happened. Tell me why it didn't work. It's okay. I'm still going to give you a grade for it. If you gave it a really good try, it's all good. So good luck with this assignment. It can be a tough assignment, but I know you are all up to doing this assignment. Have some fun with it. It took me a lot of hours, but it gave me and my daughter something to do. We even involved one of the neighbors. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of intense building and gave us really something to do. So hope you have some fun with it, and hope you log into my conference calls to tell me how it's going.